So I'd split up with my wife. It was a Monday night. I had the kids all weekend, and then on a Monday I was just depressed. So I thought, I'll do something that you can do on your own. And it was either a comedy club or lap dancing. Honestly, I was a shit lap dancer. So,
the choices.
25 years lap dancing for the nation.
Imagine that career. I was, I was 34, coming on to 35, and I was just literally looking for something to do. And I walked up to the door thinking it would be a full comedy club. And the guy on the door said to me, it's £4 to get in, but it's free if you put your name down. And I said, put my name down for what? He said, it's an open mic night. And I genuinely didn't know what that meant.
Yeah.
He said, that means you put your name down, and if your name gets called out, you get on stage. And because I'd only been to 2 comedy clubs that had always been full, I thought, well, there'll be 200 people, they'll never get to me. And it was £4, I was going through a divorce. I thought, well, that's £4 she's not getting, so... I put my name down, expecting never to be called out, and I walked in, and there were 7 people in the place, and 5 of them had put the name down. And literally, I mean, like, I'm sat here on this couch with these talented people, with you in this world, and none of this would have happened but for that night, and for a 15-minute window. If I'd have been called out, I got called out second. If they'd been called out third, I might have already left. So I got called out second after a Geordie fella doing chicken impressions. I'm not kidding.
Is he celebrating 25 years?
He's got his own chicken farm now. And I remember sitting in the audience thinking, this brilliant comedian called Mick Ferry come on, who was comparing, and I was thinking, does he not know there's no one here? And he went, your first act is, and this fella come on and go, oh, yeah, all right, you know, yeah. Have you ever seen a chicken drive a van? And I was sat there thinking,
it sounds like good.
I know. Hey, like, have you ever seen a chicken play football? And then he called out my name. And I remember I walked on stage, never been on a stage, as I say. I'd done sales presentations and stuff like that. I remember the lights in my eyes, saying something about the lights being bright. And then I thought, what am I doing here? I thought, this is just ridiculous. Like, I've never thought of doing this. And then I thought, well, what's my choice? I'm going to go home to an empty house, not living with the woman I want to live with, not living with my kids. I'll just go home to a bottle of wine. And what have I got to lose? There's only 7 people here, and one of them thinks he's a chicken. So, I literally started talking. And I remember started talking, I said some half joke, and then I had nothing to say, I had no joke, so I just went, I'm getting divorced. And I started talking about getting divorced. And in comedy clubs, when your time's up, there's a red light that flashes. I didn't even know that. So I remember going, oh, your light's broke. And I just carried on talking. I just carried on talking. I was meant to do 7 minutes because there was no one there. They let me carry on. I did about 25, half an hour or something. And I walked off, and I remember Mick, the compere, and the fellow who run the place, Dave Perkins, coming up to me. He said, where have you been doing your stand-up? I said, I've never done it in my life. And he said, well, some of that was really good. He said, some of that was funny. He said, the bit where you started talking about getting divorced and you started crying, don't do that again. he said, but come back, and we're here every Monday. So it was like counselling. So I just kept on going back.
Wow, what an amazing journey. 25 years of John Bishop, everybody!